This is a true life story. Aisha was 15 years old when the father took Aisha to her husband's house, who happened to be a senator. Aisha's father and the senator had an agreement when Aisha was 12 years old, but the father said the senator should give him some time to prepare Aisha before sending Aisha to his house. At about age 15, Aisha's father asked the senator to come pick Aisha, that it was time for him to give Aisha out for marriage. But when the senator eventually took Aisha, he had paid the bride price and did everything. Aisha was staying in the same room with the senator, but they weren't intimate. Well, because the senator was waiting for Aisha to clock at least 17 or 18 before he becomes intimate with Aisha. But Aisha was already legally married to the senator. So the senator had grown up children whose mothers were also married to the senator, but some of them, like the senator had married like 3 wives. 2 were already divorced, left with 1. And in their tradition, the men have their own houses while the women have their own houses, especially in a polygamous setting. So when Aisha was brought into that home, she lived with the senator, and she didn't have her own chamber where she stays. So she lived with the senator. So every night, the senator would just, sleep facing the other side. Aisha would sleep facing this side, and everything was going on well until Aisha and the stepson, who is the senator's son, began to fall in love. As they fell in love, the father never noticed anything because he's either going for sitting in the chamber, or he's not around. He's always a very busy person. If they're not going for political meetings, they are traveling, they're having one business or the other, they're having meetings with the president, or he's traveling to his state to meet his constituents, or he's traveling to his state to see his governor. So he's usually not around. So the stepson, Aisha's stepson, who is the senator's son, began to love Aisha so much because she was really a very beautiful young girl. So when Aisha was 17 rather, the father decided to now start becoming intimate with his wife. And Aisha was, proving, to be stubborn. And the man called Aisha's father and said, if Aisha refuses to do her wifely duties, he was going to take over everything he had given to the father, because the senator did not just because the senator was one time governor of his state, and he did not just want to marry Aisha and give the father normal bride price. He ensured that he established the father of Aisha and made them very well rich. Wealth is created, but riches can just come, and they, of course, when they come like that, they can fly away. So when the man put that call across, the father of Aisha visited the house and began to speak to Aisha, that Aisha should not disobey her husband, that this is now her husband. And Aisha was like, this is not what the father told her initially. She was not speaking to the father that why did the father marry her out to somebody she doesn't even have feelings for, she doesn't love. And when she came to his house, she didn't know what she was doing. She was just there. And the father now said, yes, it's even good that the senator did not even sleep with her. That most men, once they marry, even if you're 13, they will want to sleep with you. But it's good that the senator respected her and left it until she was 17 before trying his luck. Aisha now said she was not interested. The father spoke and spoke. She said, okay, she has heard. And the man left. So Aisha said to herself that instead of the man to be the one to sleep with her first, she would rather allow the son to sleep with her. So when the senator's son slept with Aisha, Aisha became pregnant at 17. So when the boy's father, who is the senator, decided to now sleep with Aisha, Aisha now willingly agreed. He slept with her. So when Aisha became pregnant, the senator actually thought he was the father of the child. But Aisha knew that the man was not the father of that child. is the son, because it was already 2 weeks after the son disflowered her that the senator now eventually did something with Aisha, and Aisha already knew that it's not, from the time the pregnancy was calculated, it cannot be the senator who did it. So the son now became very caring, supportive of Aisha and all that. Aisha gave birth. The baby was carbon copy of the senator's son. But people did not notice because the senator is the father of the boy. So definitely the senator was growing his own grandchild and thinking it was his child. They did all their, ritual they will do for naming and all that. Then, when Aisha's son was now 2 years old, of course, before now, they've been sleeping together without the father's knowledge. When Aisha's son was now 2 years old, she took in again, because before now, she started taking pills so that the child can grow. But when she was ready to start sleeping to have another baby, she decided to still have sex with the senator's son, and unprotected, and she took in again. This time Aisha had twin beautiful girls for the senator's son. And when it was time for Aisha, when she noticed that the senator was going to start asking her for sex, she decided to start taking pills without the senator knowing. So Aisha basically stayed in that marriage and gave birth to the senator's grandchildren, 4 children. The first child, a boy, the second pregnancy, twin girls, and the last pregnancy, which is the fourth baby, was a boy. So she had 2 boys and 2 girls for the senator's son. And it was now like the senator was the owner of the children. And so when Aisha had serious issues with the senator's son, they had a disagreement, and they began to exchange text messages. So Aisha now mistakenly sent the text message to the senator saying, "Your father is not aware that he is not the biological father of all these children. If you push me so much, I'm going to tell your father everything that had happened from the beginning. So it's high time you stopped bullying me. Do not push me, because I can say these things and damn the consequences." So when Aisha sent that thing on WhatsApp to the senator had opened it and was reading it to a point where he already got the main message. Before Aisha realized to delete it from everyone, the message was already read by the senator. So the senator now called Aisha and asked her, "You sent a message. Why did you delete it?" She said no, that it was a wrong message that somebody sent to her. So she thought she was going to forward it to him, that see what has happened to this person. The father now said, the husband, who is the father of the boy, the senator's son, said, no, this message was not, you mentioned, because some women, when they are angry, they may call you by name. So you mentioned my son's name. So what's going on? So that was how Aisha sat down and began to cry, telling the senator everything. She confessed everything. And the senator now said, on this grounds, that he was going to divorce Aisha. And they said, I don't know, but this is what people said, that in the Muslim tradition, or in their custom, if a man tells you, I divorce you 3 times, he doesn't need to say more. You have to divorce you, and then you have to marry to someone else first before he will bring you back. That is their tradition, which I don't know, is what I heard. So if you are from the north and this is how it happens in the Muslim, Arabic, or whatever tradition, let me know on the comment. So the father called the son, sat down, and told them that what they have done is sacrilege, is a bad thing. The emir had to intervene he came into the matter to try to make peace. And Aisha now left the marriage. The son decided to travel out because he couldn't bear the embarrassment. But the father now, after so much talking, people now asked him to bless them and let them be as a couple if they wish to.